Hello, awesome students. I'm Ma'am Macy, and welcome to my class. Today, we will learn about fundamental operations of integers. Our objective: the learner performs fundamental operations on integers. Remember, fundamental operations are the foundation. They are the building blocks of more advanced math. Are you ready? Let's start! Operation on integers. So before we start class, let us define first what is an integer. Integer. It is a number with no fractional part or simply no decimals. It includes the counting numbers 1, 2, 3, and so on, 0, and the negative of the counting numbers, which is -1, -2, -3, and so on. Example of integers. We have -100, 49, -63, 578, and -21. So now, let's proceed in adding. So our rule, if the two integers to be added have the same sign, we add the integers and keep the same sign for the sum. So take note, class, that we will use two colored counters here. The blue one for positive and then the red one for negative. Remember also that if we have a positive and a negative colored counters, so we need to cancel that pair. So that means 0. Okay, so let's now proceed in our example number 1. So we have here 3 plus 2. So I have here positive 3, so we will use the blue colored counters. And then positive 2, so again, we will use the blue colored counters 2. And then class, so take note, no cancellation because we have no red colored counters here. So in all, we have 5 blue colored counters. So it means that we have positive 5. Again, 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. So reminder, so if you have an integer with same sign, so just add the two integers and just copy the same sign. So in this case, we have here positive 3 added to a positive 2. So your answer should be positive also, and then 3 plus 2 is 5. Next, example number 2. -4 plus -3. So in this case, we will use the red colored counters because 4 here is -4. And then -3, 3 red colored counters. Again, no cancellation. So in all, we have here 7 red colored counters. That is -7. Okay? So we have -4 plus -3 is equal to -7. So our rule, negative integer added to a negative integer. So same sign add. So 4 plus 3, 7. And then just copy the same sign, which is negative. Next, if the integers to be added have the different signs, subtract their absolute values, larger absolute value minus smaller absolute value. Then take the sign of the number with the larger absolute value. For example number 3, we have 5 plus -2. So we need 5 blue colored counters and then 2 red colored counters for negative. And then we need to cancel this first pair, and then this one. So the remaining colored counters, we have here 3 blue colored counters, and that is positive. So our answer will be positive 3. Again, 5 plus negative 2 is equal to 3. In short, class, if you have different sign, so we need to subtract. So take note, 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. So the sign should be positive. Why positive? Because the number with a larger absolute value is 5. That's why you can see here the blue colored counter is bigger than the red colored counter because 5 is greater than 2. So the sign of 3 here should be positive. So again, 5 plus negative 2 is equal to positive 3 or simply 3. Okay, next. Example number 4. I have here 4 plus negative 6. So we will use 4 blue colored counters for positive and then red 6 red colored counters. So we need to cancel the 4 pairs of positive and negative. Ayan. So the remaining colored counters, we have here 2 red colored counters and the sign will be negative. So again, 4 plus negative is equal to negative 2. Okay. So we have here the rule or the pattern. If you have an integer with different sign, we need to subtract. So for 6 minus 4, we have 2. So why negative? Because the integer with a larger absolute value is 6. That's why the red colored counter is bigger than the blue colored counter because 6 is greater than 4. So your answer will be negative. So that's why it is a negative 2. Okay, so let's try this. 11 plus 4. So 11 and 4 are both positive. So our rule here will be same sign, add. So we need to add 11 plus 4 and just copy the same sign. So that is positive 15. 11 plus 4 is positive 15. Next, negative 18 plus 24 equals. So we have here negative added to a positive integer. So our rule will be different sign, subtract. So we need to subtract 24 and 18, so that is 6. And we need to copy the sign of the number with a larger absolute value. So here, the number with a larger absolute value is 24. That's why the blue colored counter is bigger than the red colored counters. So our answer will be 6 and then the sign will be positive. So positive 6. Negative 18 plus 24 is equal to positive 6. Next, negative 20 plus negative 9. So they are both negative. So our rule will be same sign, just add. So 20 plus 9 is 29 and then just copy the same sign which is negative. So we have negative 29. And then next, we have 25 plus negative 50. So we have here positive plus negative is equal to, so again, our rule, different sign, we need to subtract it. So 50 minus 25 is equal to 25. And then we need to copy the sign of the number with the larger absolute value, which is 50. And the sign will be negative. So our answer will be negative 25. Next. So now let's proceed in subtracting integers. So subtraction can be understood as addition of the opposite. While subtracting two integers, the sign of the second integer or our subtrahend is changed and added to the first integer, which is our minuend, following the rules of addition of integers. So let's have this example. Example number 1, 4 minus 2. So we know that 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. So, but if we will follow the rules, so we need to copy the first integer, which or the minuend 4, and then the subtraction sign will become plus sign. The second integer or your subtrahend is positive 2. So change its sign, it will become negative 2. So using the colored counters, I have here 4 blue colored counters and then 2 red colored counters. And then cancel this pair and this one. So we have here 2 blue colored counters. So it means we have positive 2. So 4 plus negative 2 is equal to. So same rule in adding integers. Next, example number 2. 3 minus negative 4. Again, just copy 3, the first integer. Minus sign will become plus sign. Negative 4 will become positive 4. So we have now 3 plus 4 equals, so we have 3 blue colored counters and then 4 blue colored counters. No cancellation. So we have 7. So 3 plus 4 equals 7. Next, example number 3. Negative 1 minus negative 5. So just copy negative 1. Change the minus sign into plus sign. And then negative 5 becomes positive 5. So let's use the colored counters. Red colored counter 1. And then 5 blue colored counters. So cancel this pair. So we have 4 blue colored counters remaining. Negative 1 plus 5 is equal to 4. Next, example number 4. Just copy negative 4. Minus sign become plus sign. And then positive 1 become negative 1. So using the colored counters, we have 4 red colored counters and then 1 red colored counters. So no cancellation. So we have negative 5. So negative 4 plus negative 1 equals negative 5. So let's try this. So negative 8 minus 14 equals what? So just copy negative 8. Minus sign become plus sign. And then positive 14 become negative 14. So here, 8 plus 14, because they are same sign, so just copy the same sign, negative, and then just add 8 plus 14, we have 22. So negative 8 plus negative 14, we have negative 22. Next, negative 13 minus negative 27. So just copy negative 13, minus sign become plus sign, negative 27 becomes positive 27. So we need to subtract 8 because we have different sign. So 27 minus 13 is 14. And then the number with a larger absolute value is 27. And then the sign is positive. So here, positive 14. Okay, next. 24 minus negative 19. So we have just copy 24, minus sign will become plus sign, and then negative 19 will become positive 19. So we have here same sign na, so just add. So 24 plus 19, we have 43. So same sign, add. Okay, next. Negative 35 minus negative 35. So just copy negative 35. Minus sign will become plus sign. And then negative 35 will become positive 35. So they have different signs, so we need to subtract it. What is 35 minus 35? So 35 minus 35 is equal to 0. So yan, different signs, subtract. Okay, next. So now let's proceed in multiplying integers. So our rule, we have, if the signs of the two integers are the same, the product is always a positive number. So reminder, so same sign, positive. So we have here positive integer times positive integer is equal to positive, and then negative times negative equals positive. So let's have this example. 15 times 2. So they are both positive. So your answer will be positive also. And then 15 times 2, we have 15. Next, sample number 2. Negative 4 times negative 13. So they are both negative. So same sign. So it will become positive. And then 13 times 4, we have 52. So positive 52. Next, if the signs of the two integers are different, the product is always a negative number. So reminder again. So if you have positive times negative, that is negative. And or negative times positive, negative. So different sign, negative. So example number 3, we have negative 6 times 7 equals, so negative 42. 6 times 7, 42. Different sign, negative. Example number 4, 11 times negative 9. So they are different sign, negative. 11 times 9, 99. So negative 99. So let's try this. So negative 8 times negative 5. So the integers are both negative. So that's why it is positive. So 8 times 5, we have 40. Next, 17 times negative 3. So we have different sign, negative, and 17 times 3, we have 51. So we have negative 51. Next, negative 22 times 4. They are different sign. So this will be negative. And then 22 times 4 is 88. So we have negative 88. Next, 100 times 10. So they are both positives. So your answer should be positive also. 100 times 10, we have 1,000. Okay, next. So let's now proceed in dividing integers. So if the sign of the two integers are the same, the quotient is always a positive number. So take note that the rules in dividing integers is the same as in multiplying integers. Okay, so let's have this reminder. So positive divided by a positive integer, so equals positive. Negative integer divided by negative integer is equal to positive integer. So same sign, positive. Example, 27 divide 9. So they are both positive. So your answer will be positive. And then 27 divide 9. So we have here 3, positive 3. Next, example number 2. Negative 48 divided by negative 4. So they are both negative. So your answer will become positive. So 48 divided 4, we have positive 12. Next, if the signs of the two integers are different, the quotient is always a negative number. So let's have this. Positive integer divided by a negative integer. So that is equal to negative integer, or negative divided by a positive integer is equal also in a negative integer. Different sign, negative. example. We have negative 50 divided by 10. So they have different sign, so negative. So 50 divided by 10, we have 5. So the answer will be negative 5. Example number 4. 64 divided by negative 8. So they have different signs. So that's why this is negative. And then 64 divided by 8, we have negative 8. So let's try this. We have negative 15 divided by negative 5. So they have the same sign. So your answer should be positive. 15 divided by 5, we have 3. So positive 3. Next, 33 divided by negative 3. So they have different signs. That's why your answer will be negative. 33 divided by 3, we have 11. So your answer would be negative 11. Next, negative 72 divided by 12. Again, they have different sign. So this will become negative. 72 divided by 12. So we have negative 6. Next, negative 120 divided by 30. They have the different sign. That's why this is negative. And then 120 divided by 30, we have 4. So your answer would be negative 4. Okay? That's it for our lesson on operation on integers. So thank you, class. Goodbye.